Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be showing you my garden. So the whole deal with this is basically to show you that you don't really have to have any experience, and you can even make a lot of mistakes and still get a lot of food out of a garden. So this is like the first full garden I've ever done. Last year I did like some stuff in pots when I was in the apartment, but now I'm in the house. So this year I moved in beginning of March, so it was about time to plant here, and there's all the coronavirus panic and stuff going on, so I pretty much moved in and I had to get to work right away to get stuff planted. So what was right here before, there was this weird sort of like rock garden deal, and I had to clear all that out, and I just kind of hand tilled it myself, so the ground probably wasn't as soft and loose as it should be. And then I mixed in some peat moss with that, and I just started putting down seed just kind of haphazardly in rows. But I'll show you, even doing that and planting things too close together and all that kind of stuff, I've still managed to be pretty successful. So what happened in this first area, I planted beans and carrots, and I didn't have it tilled very good, and that was the first section that I did before I had cleared the rest. And it also rained a ton during that time, so not a lot came up, and it's mostly just been grass. And that's another thing too, I'm not really weeding this. It's kind of an experiment to see, you know, how poorly can you take care of your garden and still get a lot of food. So all I do is water it pretty frequently, but I haven't really done anything with weeding or any of that. But even with this, so this first batch didn't really start coming up, but I still did get some bean plants, and I just harvested a bunch of carrots out of here for a salad. Another thing with this too is I didn't really label stuff, so I might get something wrong. But growing here, I've got some different kinds of pole beans that haven't produced anything yet, and they've kind of started to wrap around my tomato cages, and that's part of just growing stuff too close together. But then my tomatoes here are doing really well, and as you can see, this one here, it's like the size of my hand almost. It's huge. And I've been harvesting some tomatoes, so there's quite a few through here, and I've got a few different varieties, some like cherry tomatoes and more like, I think they're called like beefy tomatoes, just different varieties. Even got like an heirloom plant or two. So here I went and I did another row of carrots, planted them way too close together, and definitely didn't get the ground loose enough. So some of those that I've harvested have been kind of small and spindly because they can't really break through the ground. But what's good about carrots is you can also eat the tops. So even if the carrots themselves don't grow super well, you can still kind of get like a salad out of this stuff. And here at my feet, this is like my cucumbers, and they've got lots of flowers on them, and I think they should have cucumbers on them pretty soon. This is some cilantro plants I've got. My fiance really likes that, so I decided to grow some cilantro. I've got in here snap peas, and I think that's like another kind of bean, and the snap peas kind of took over everything. I didn't have enough like scaffolding for them, so they just started kind of growing on the ground, even when I try to put them up these poles or whatever. But they started taking over the other plants, and these have been producing quite a bit. Here you can see this one's ready, and I read on these the more you harvest, the more they produce. So if I take these off whenever they're ready, it should produce more beans for me, or peas. So those, even though they've all kind of grown together, the snap peas at least are doing really well. I haven't really seen much with this putting on some flowers. It looks like it has some in there, but it hasn't produced any fruit for me yet, or vegetables. Then I've got lettuce over here, and there's another cilantro plant. This lettuce in this area didn't do very well. I'm not sure what the deal is, but these over here are getting really nice and big, and I'm probably gonna collect a few of those soon and make a salad. Some other things, I planted a few potatoes in here, but I never really saw them come up, so I'm not sure what went wrong there. But regardless, I'm pretty happy with doing like no weeding and getting a lot of things wrong, how much food has started to come up out of here. So basically, moral of the story is you don't have to know a lot about gardening to get started. Just till up some dirt and start putting seeds in the ground at the right time, and you should get something out of it. And yeah, that's about it for today. Peace out.